Hello, great you. Welcome to another one. So I hope and believe this will be the last video we make with regards to prophecies about the Israel Hamas conflict and things like that. So one of you sent me this video by Prophet Jerome where he was giving a prophecy, and it was so detailed and so accurate. Unfortunately, I may not use the sound because I may not have been given permission to do so. So he said that he saw all those things in them like pinpoint accuracy, and we really thank God that we have prophets who really speak the mind of God. So the link to the video, I'm going to leave it in the description or in the pinned comment so that you go and check it out for yourself on Instagram. And moving on to other prophets who saw this happening, it was Prophet Tomi Arayomi, and this is what he has to say about the way forward and what is going to be happening later. Let's get into it.
Coming when your plunder will be divided in your presence. For I will gather all the nations for battle against Jerusalem, and the city will be captured, the houses will be looted, the woman ravished, half of the city will go into exile, but the rest of the people will not be removed from the city. There seems to be a culmination of nations right now gathering themselves against Israel. And if you remember my last prophetic video, if you don't remember it, this is just part 2 of that. So after this, I encourage you go back and watch that. I think it's at almost 100,000 of you have watched that video, but go and check it out, because I talk about how people are going to appear to be for Israel, but then they're going to kind of change a little bit, and you're going to see a little bit of a shift more into a Palestinian support than an Israeli support.
Just a small segue. This reminds me of what Pastor Chris said. Let's listen.
When the Ukrainian war with Russia at least dominated the news, and Israel was kind of making some headway with friendships with some of the Arab nations, everybody wondered where was the enmity between Israel and the Palestinians. It seemed like it had gone to the, nobody was thinking about it. It was like off the table. It wasn't off the table for the Illuminati. At the right time, they were advised that this was the moment to strike. So you strike, and what happens? What happens? Israel returns fire for fire in a very devastating way. Now, Israel will be accused of killing a fly with a sledgehammer. That's what's going to happen. All those who are supporting Israel right now, they're going to turn against Israel. Those nations that are saying, yeah, they're going to turn against Israel soon. And they're going to say, it's too much. So while Israel is fighting this, already Hezbollah and to the northern part of Israel, from their southern Lebanon territories, started trying some things. They attacked some of the military positions of Israel, and Israel responded, but war has not been declared. So very likely Israel fights this one, and now they've moved their soldiers also to the northern border. So they're going to be fighting on 2 fronts very soon. But it's going to be more than that, because Iran is funding Hezbollah and funding Hamas, and they're not hiding it, and they're saying so. So Israel will have to take actions against Iran. So very likely the plan from these people who are behind this is to instigate Israel to attack Iran. So they're going to be fighting Hamas and fighting Hezbollah and fighting Iran. And since they're fighting for their lives, they're going to be very devastating. And because they're fighting that, then Islamic Jihad from Pakistan joins. And that drugs as envisioned by the planners of this, that drags the Arab world into it all. So they declare intifada. Intifada means to shake off, literally, which really is a term to refer to uprising. So it's a kind of rebellion. So what you're seeing is, I told you about the polarization of nations. And I told you about this phase of polarization and what we were about to see and when it began. I told you it was going to go on. So you're going to have those that are pro-China. You have those that are pro-Europe. And of course, China will be friends with Russia. And then I wonder where your country, which one will your country join? You see, so they're going to be so polarized. This is what they plan to do. This is what they plan to do.
So I just love the prophetic harmony that we are seeing on display right here. So let's continue with what Prophet Tomi Arayomi was saying about this, and I'll meet you in the next one. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.
And they're going to kind of change a little bit, and you're going to see a little bit of a shift more into a Palestinian support than an Israeli support. Listen, the word Palestine is actually an insult. It's not a nation, it's an insult. So for those of you like free Palestine, Palestine was an insulting term given to Jerusalem by a conquering emperor who decided to change the name to Palestine because somewhere in the book of Judges he read how the Philistines would always torment the children of God, and so he renamed it in mockery of the Jews. He renamed it Palestine. This is a land that has always belonged to the people of God, the Israeli, the Jewish people, from before you and I were ever on the scene. So I'm going to tell you what I believe the church needs to do right now. The Lord called, and I'm going to read some things the Lord said to me in prayer, because we've got to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, but we've also got to hear the Lord for Jerusalem as well. The Lord calls Hamas the tip of the spearhead. It's the tip of the spear. It's not the rest. Others are going to respond. We're seeing Hamas right now, the tip of the spear. We already saw the uncovering of Hamas, the Iran face behind it. We're going to see other nations. I actually believe prophetically we're going to see Iraq. We're going to see, let me just, we may even see Morocco. I mean, distant parts of the Arab world are going to begin to respond to this in a different way. I'm actually trying to pull up this map right now so I could tell you the nations that I saw. I saw Iraq. I saw Yemen, even though they're somewhat defeated. I saw Egypt. I saw different nations, Afghanistan. I saw them gathering around to add their own insult and their own war and their own strategy to this tip of the spearhead that others were going to ensue with their own attacks and try to cripple the nation at this time. Then I saw a season prophetically where I saw Netanyahu shutting not just food, not just water, not just food supply. I saw people genuinely suffering inside the siege, and then I saw others who were pretending and using young children as shields and starving kids as PR to say, look what's happening to us, world stage set in. And all of a sudden, what started off as we'll support Israel became a shift again, and people and nations began to shift and support Palestine.